Yeah. Hello, my name is the Demolisher 13, and this is my friend.
Mer?
Yeah, actually, probably works better than the long version.
Mer Mass? Yeah.
And we are working together on making a self-expanding factory for Factorial. Let's see, what are some details we can go over about this?
So basically, the self-expanding factory, what we're trying to do is basically use trains to do all of our transporting of all of our goods instead of using belts, because trains have a really high throughput. The original process that we did with this was all using belts, but what happened was, and also bots. But what happens is that the exponential use of bots kind of made this unattainable to have a proper expanding factory.
Yeah, uh, we tried belts, we tried logic bots, we tried all the other alternatives, and actually we kind of expand. Oh, I forgot to mention, this is the fifth illustration of this project, so
Mhm. The one thing that kind of made this whole project viable is basically these new logistic train stops, basically that will let us request stuff like a requester chest. So basically, if we set this up with a constant combinator, what we can do is we can set it up and say, hey, I'm going to provide a certain amount of resource, and then another one could say I can request a certain number of resource. So a train will be requested to pick up and drop off for resources, and it works really well.
I should also mention these train stops are from the LTN Logistic Trains Network mod
Hmm.
to make sure he gets his credit.
Yep,
Um,
such a good work there.
yeah, without his work, we wouldn't be able to do this.
So basically, what we're standing in here with this train thing is a basic frame of what we're going to design. So a basic frame has a it's a two four train track uh, network, and basically two on each side going each direction. And in the middle of this frame, we have the kind of like the brain of it, which we're going to have a whole bunch of logic and
Yeah,
also six basically the
this
tillery to be. Go on.
isn't the final product for the core. You think it's a rat's nest for wires right now, it's going to get worse. So
Yeah.
basically, in the future, you, the player, you're never going to touch this. Unless you want to stop it, which we do have a handy that stop button in the middle, but otherwise, no. And then my good friend Murray is just marking out each cell, yeah, each of the cells area to work with.
Mhm. So basically, each of these chunks that I kind of just marked off is basically going to be where the kind of the logic is going to look at, and basically look in these cells and saying what is in this area. Is there ore? Is there fuel or sorry, oil? And then once basically what it'll do is it'll exploit those resources and export them out with
Yep,
trains.
and then the other cells will kind of go, okay, he's got resources. Maybe we should build some industry. Yeah. And then they'll begin to build more and more complicated industry to eventually be able to reproduce everything needed to make more frames,
Hmm.
which then
So if
kind
we
of go over the land.
Yeah, so if we want to go a little bit down here, we'll kind of show you an example of a working frame. So this one is basically going to make chips,
Chips and
circuits.
copper.
Yep. So basically, as you can see here, it's going to request some copper from the train on the left, and then it'll basically export it out.
Yep. So right
Oh, sorry.
track is our, well, it's a little different per cell because
Hmm.
every time we put in a module, I kind of flip the two, the import and the export back and forth between the two. But in this case, right side's import, left side's export.
Hmm.
As you can see, it all just kind of gets sucked in. Materials get then filtered out and then sent to their appropriate destinations to be used. And if we just, ah, it's always getting harder to move through these things. Yeah, we got all of our finished products being built up or stock. You gotta love recording. Um, yeah, they get stockpiled here for export. We're currently not exporting at the moment due to the fact that I think we're still building up our stockpile. Yes, we're still building up a stockpile. But green chips here are about to get triggered in just a moment. Yep, green chips have been asked for, so train
So the
comes
train
in,
just jumps it.
and we turn on the belts, and the train's now loading. Now, I have timed this. This does take about a minute before it gets its load. Now, it doesn't load the train exactly to its full capacity due to the fact that I just kind of said one value is all, since you can only fit 50 raw ore in a stack versus green electric circuits, which can fit 200 a stack, which can kind of mess things up. And to keep things simple, I just have it all set to 500 or 5,850, which for ore that would leave exactly one slot open in each cart because these filters tend to throw a random item in.
Yeah, so it's better that we get a little bit under than a little bit over because it's not going to lose too much performance for that, but we will basically lose a lot of have a lot of issues if we find we're having overstock of stuff and we're basically leaving some in the machine.
Yep. Uh, Now if we just kind of keep moving on, another frame we have is the train depot. Let's see, I have two train depots. Are there any trains coming in? No. Okay. So basically, trains come in on the right, they leave on the left. Not much to talk about other than this is where they get their fuel, and this is where, if they have anything left, for any god-forsaken reason, the depot will pull it out and then make sure the train is empty and clean for its next run. Which, believe it or not, it helps avoid issues.
So these depots are a part of the logistic train network.
Yep.
So what these ones do is they'll sit until a requester either requests or provides certain resources.
Yep.
So they're as you said, there's the fuel ones basically that can pump out fuel, and basically the other ones just can be requested for any other type of stuff.
Yep.
Yep. And it can also drop out new ones if we request.
Yes, if a train
request.
depot does not have any. So we have two types of trains, liquids and cargo. Say, for example, we have 0 liquid trains in the depot. Then eventually, when this timer hits a certain value, it will add 1 liquid train on one of these 2 tracks. And it will do the same.
Can we trigger that?
Not with this depot. We'd have to go to the other one.
Okay.
So, in fact, that's how all these trains are currently in the network. So if I were, boop. Now, because we still have trains in the network, actually, what value are we looking for the, so it's here 5,000, okay, so, remove you. When we hit 5,000, I think it's, 5 or 6,000, we'll be getting a new train. So
what is it at right now?
4,500.
Okay, great. So we're almost there.
4,700. 4,800. 4,900. Oh, no, I added train.
Another one just popped in.
Eh.
I'll get this one.
No, just leave the carts.
Oh. Why leave the carts?
Because then it will count as filled.
Oh.
But without triggering the network. Oh boy.
Like this one little guy just flying.
It's
So basic about this is that we wanted to try to do as little of movement of parts with from robots as possible. That's because the when you start using robots, they start needing exponential power, exponential of bots to actually do all the processing. Oh, there it goes.
Yep, I just did a manual override since we failed to meet its condition. So right now it says no pass. That's just a blueprint thing. I could fix that in just a GIF. It's looking for a licklet, cargo, or depot. Depot, okay. Oh, come on. I had you working earlier.
Can it put ones down without you manually doing it?
Yeah, it can. Uh, I just have the wrong blueprint in right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is purely the blueprint. This is a one that
Yeah, so
particularly
let's not worry
annoys me.
about this.
So, for those who have been with us for a while, you know I've been working on the refinery. And unfortunately, what we have here is not going to be the finished product due to the fact that I made the decision today we're not doing nuclear fuel. So this whole nuclear fuel line is getting ripped. But the rest of it's pretty much set in stone. I might just reset up the rocket fuel, but yeah. This thing actually has been a labor of love. I think I put in more hours working on this particular module than any other.
Yeah, it looks really well done.
Thank you. I know I was for a while I was trying to figure out how the hell am I going to fit in the nuclear fuel. I'm actually amazed I actually got that. The problem with the nuclear fuel is it isn't due to the fact that we can't get the uranium. The problem is the train network system won't be utilizing all of it. We make too much, basically. And by sticking with the rocket fuel, the other problem of nuclear fuel is, if you can look in my inventory, it doesn't stack. That is a really big problem. I mean, yes, that is 1.2 gigajoules of energy. Okay. Versus 10 rocket fuel, where each of them offers 1 megajoule, or 100 megajoules. But you times that by 10, that equals 1 gigajoule. Okay, so yeah, one of these nuclear fuels still offers vastly more than the nuclear. My, my words are tripling today.
No problem.
But yeah, you guys get the idea.
Yeah, so the problem is that we're just concerned that like the one nuclear fuel is just going to be basically overstacking, like basically not going to utilize the same amount of stuff that we're going to use. Basically, it's going to make it
Yeah.
a little bit too compact.
Well, what ends up happening is we only use one rocket fuel, and this whole system relies on us constantly consuming a little bit of everything, actually. And I've been working very hard to get this to be balanced. But as we can see, we're making way too much gasoline. So I'm going to be swapping these solid fuels out with petroleum. So we're not burning the light oils heavily. And because we'll be burning 10 times the rocket fuel then, hopefully we can keep this whole cycle moving. But yeah, other than that, this is pretty well made. I mean, I did play around with the pipes down here. And actually, yeah. Overall, this has been one of the better frames. I know for a while I just had, for the unloading station, the unloaders just kind of went straight to a belt. They didn't put anything into a chest. But that just made the unloading time unbearably long. So now everything gets put in a chest, and the chest kind of acts like a buffer to the rest of the system. Works beautifully. Go ahead and do the same for the exporter. Uh, I know I do have a couple frames for modules for a mine. I don't have that down in this test field. Not yet, at least. I guess we weren't calling enough iron. The iron refinery, that module is backlogged.
Oh no.
That's not the worst thing. Actually, here, we could probably make our official shortage if I were to just. Okay, infinity chest, remove any items I'm about to pick up. So give me a second.
Yeah. Well, with something like this, would it be smart to basically make one more train and having exporting with the steel on its own?
Um, Currently it works. Unless we start having issues, I'm not going to play with it too much. But you're not. I mean, I could add two more chests for the steel, so the steel is in a similar boat as the iron.
Mm-hmm.
3 belts. I hate you.
What?
You really just gave me the idea, and now I can't stop thinking about it.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so now I have to spend time to fixing it. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. I'm just annoyed because I tend to make shortcuts every now and then, and now I have to go back and fix a shortcut.
And I'm always the one that says don't do the shortcut.
Yeah, you are. So I'll probably just rip out this 5v3 balancer and then plop into 3v3s. Yeah, that'll be best. But now that the system's starting to catch up, and we're waiting for it to export everything. That is a lot of iron. At least we know that we can handle an iron vein.
Nice.
Okay, come on. Everyone's got tons of iron to push out, so it takes a few moments for it to kick back to life.
Okay, so is there anything else you want to show?
Yeah. Well, everyone, that was the project. I know we don't look all that impressive now, but give us a little bit.
Gonna change and be a lot more put together pretty soon. Okay, if you've ever looked at any of his old works, you can see how much effort and love he put into it. So you'll definitely see a finished project coming pretty soon.
I wouldn't say soon, or
No, but I mean, like like we'll have at least in the next little while. I think a good test where we'll gonna show off like
maybe, yeah,
exporting and
another
importing.
field test where we have all the modules done. The coding for all the modules won't be done for a while.
Yep, that's fine. Okay,
All right.
so
Well,
have you guys a wonderful night, and thanks for keeping in touch.
all right. Bye.